Results are based not only on what you do, but how you do it, meaning the intensity and focus you bring to each training session. It's easy to become disinterested in your training and start hopping programs due to frustration. We're all prone to falling into this trap at some point along our training journey. Sometimes training feels effortless and easy, but it's also unavoidable that at times, training will feel like an absolute grind. Over the years, I've started to realize that incorporating some novelty into your training isn't always a bad thing, as long as it's incorporated in a way that benefits you and doesn't slow progress. Progressions are a great way to keep things novel and fresh, while also being a fun and engaging method to get stronger and build some muscle. Incorporating progressions doesn't mean that you stop training the fundamentals. Just like Bruce Lee, we're in the business of training one kick 10,000 times rather than 10,000 kicks one time. We don't just stop training the roundhouse because we've learned how to tornado kick now. Progressions are best used in conjunction with an already well-established training program that works fundamentals on a consistent basis, with addition of harder variations to increase the challenge and give yourself a meaningful goal to pursue and keep you engaged long term. I find nothing is more motivating than setting your sights on a goal and working smart and hard to achieve that goal. So when used appropriately, I find that progressions can actually increase adherence to your training program. Make sure you apply the same intensity level and focus to pursuing your progressions that you would in mastering the fundamentals. I can tell you from my first-hand experience that if you allow for sloppy and unfocused reps, just because an exercise becomes slightly harder, it will only lead to injuries and setbacks. And you'll never really make consistent progress while stuck in the cycle of injury and rehab. The same can also be said for almost any sport. When we get fatigued and tired, it's easy to throw technique out the window and start performing sloppy, mindless repetitions. Instead, reframe those feelings of fatigue as a cue to lock in, dig deeper, and stay focused and intentional about your training. At this point, you're probably wondering how best to incorporate progressions. There are really no hard and set rules, but some of the factors I take into consideration when assessing whether a progression is appropriate is if training has become stagnant and you are lacking motivation on a consistent basis. Throwing in a progression at this point can refresh your drive and passion for training and give you a meaningful goal to push you through to the next block. Workouts becoming too long is also another good sign that switching up the routine might be of benefit, as there are diminishing returns when the only variable we change is continuously cranking up the volume. Try to still create and stick to a structured training plan so that you don't sacrifice progress in the pursuit of novelty. Remember, the goal is to enjoy novelty and progress together. Try and commit to at least a 3-month block where you train smart and hard toward the goal you have set. At the end of the 3 months, you should have a good idea and indications whether you are on track to achieve your goal, as by this point you should be making at least some progress in the right direction. For a progression like the planche that takes years of training to unlock, then give it a bit longer. Progress here might be seen in being able to do X amount of planche push-ups, or being able to do a band-assisted straddle planche. If things aren't going well after around the 3-month mark, then it's time to reassess. You should have, at the very least, learned a lot of valuable lessons that will help you refine your training in the future. A good example of a progression is transitioning from regular bodyweight squats to the pistol squat. Within this goal, there are also a few micro progressions that will be utilized to make it achievable. Instead of continually ramping up reps with conventional bodyweight squats, which will have a diminishing return on investment over time, transition over to band-assisted pistol squats once you have built a solid base. And from here, you can simply gradually reduce the assistance used until you can perform them unassisted. Negatives are also a viable option. However, always approach negatives with caution, as you're essentially working beyond your maximum capacity for a short period of time. This puts a lot of strain on the ligaments, muscles, tendons, and joints, while your muscles are adapting to working at this new higher capacity. It's why I'd recommend first doing Australian rows, then moving to band-assisted pull-ups to unlock your first pull-up, rather than smashing out negative pull-ups from the get-go. The risk to reward ratio of doing negative repetitions is rarely worth it in my experience. Using this formula, we can easily incorporate pistol squat progressions into our already established workout, apply progressive overload, and over time achieve our goal. The most important factor when pursuing a progression is to keep your focus on technique and progress in a structured way to avoid injury and setbacks. Using this approach, and of course staying consistent, will allow you to reach your goal in no time. Good luck, and as always, leave any questions, comments, or abuse down below. Cheers.